What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Saturday. It is July 26th. This is your first look at this slate of games today. So we've already ran 10,000 simulations in the background. We're going to give you all of our first look. If you've never been here before, we go through game by game on the slates. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to break those down. We're going to look at usually top three bats in each team, but if there's a certain team like we have a feeling for that we want to stack, we may give up to 6 players in those stacks there. After that, we're going to do our matchup tool. So we've ran 10,000 sims. The matchup tool is right here under the matchup tool, but we're going to give you, for the first 10,000 simulations, all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. After that, we're going to do our Pitches Be Crazy segment, and then followed by finally some sports bets in our Makin Bacon segment. We also try to have giveaways every single day. Here are the 2 ways you could win absolutely free. You got to like this video right now. You got to leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. And you got to be a subscriber to the channel. You do all 3 of those, and this video right here gets at least 50 likes. You'll have a shot at a free week of FTA+. So today, that's MLB and MMA. We've got MLB, NASCAR, MMA, and PGA, the current sports. Obviously, NFL is right around the corner. We cannot wait. And then we'll have NBA back in no time. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you will have a shot at a free month of all sports. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And if we can get to 200 likes and 75 comments on this video, I'm going to give away 3 lifetime passes. So 200 likes, 75 comments, go for it. 3 lifetime passes worth $500. Second way to win, somewhere in the video, there'd be a keyword or a key phrase. Be on the lookout for it. Type it in and have your second shot at a free week. Now, it's been a while since we've had the winner be the same person, but it has happened. Now, this is only for getting the likes on the video. This has nothing to do with the keyword, but so Artful Dodger, I think this might be the first time you've won on the channel, so congratulations. All you got to do is email me. The email is down below, or dfshelp1@gmail.com. Use the subject line of 725 video likes winner. And then let me know if you have a username on our site. If you do not, let me know a username, email, and password, and we will get you set up. Now, you did have the keyword for defense, but we are going to re-roll it here. So we're going to re-roll it, and we are going to see if you are the winner yet again. So the winner of the keyword from Friday's video is Mean Cantaf. So congratulations. I know you've won before. It's been a while. It's been a long time, I think, since you've won. So congratulations. Thanks for coming back. As always, you know the drill. Email me. Let me know you're the keyword winner for the 725 video, and let me know your username on the website. So we are going to use outlier.bet. So if you've never heard of it before, we're going to give you a preview of it, but you can sign up with the link down below. They're going to get a 7-day free trial for you, and it is very useful. It's really good for sports betting, but if you're here for DFS, it breaks the games down that we absolutely love. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We have a weird kind of day, a little bit for a Saturday. We've got the Philly-Yankees game is at 12:05 Central or 1:05 Eastern, okay? It's a separate game. It's on its own. Then we have a 3-game early slate, starting with Toronto at Detroit, and then we've got an 11-game main slate. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cover the early slate and the main slate. We're not going to cover the Yankees, Phillies breakdown there. I might do a video on it. Probably not, though. My wife works weekends. It's very hard to get videos in. I try to do what I can, and I try to sleep. So without further ado, stick around. Hopefully you like it. If you found this video helpful, it is very helpful for us. If you watch the video a couple times, to its entirety, share the video, leave some comments. So we are going to look at the early slate, the 3 games, Toronto at Detroit. We've got our favorite pitcher of the day. It's very close. We've got some great pitching matchups today. But I do like Skubal here. Overall, he's the picture of the video and article for a reason. In this game, we've got Kevin Gausman versus Tarek Skubal. So we can look at this overall. Obviously, love Skubal here. That's where I'm going. Probably going Skubal. If we look at Gausman, tournament's okay because we did see Detroit lose on Thursday pretty handedly. And I kind of went with that. We kind of thought they would. That's where we won some money. But we'll get Skubal. Guerrero's the only one with the home run. If you are going against Skubal and you're going with some Toronto bats like Ernie Clement batting 368 against lefties this year, Vladdy batting 341, and you could go Heineman or Kirk depending on which one's there. Like those would be an option for you. I don't think that I trust that. And I'll let you guys know when I'm right or wrong. It's like, unlike other DFS providers, and you guys can attest to this, if I'm wrong, I will come back and let you know. So if you're looking at Detroit bats against Gossman, ones that have had success, no one's had a home run. But if you look against righties this year, we are at Colt Keith, 272 batting average with 8 bombs. I would look at Riley Green batting over 300 with double-digit home runs, 20-plus home runs, I should say, would be another one I'd look at. You could always look at Torkelson, Gleyber Torres. Cheap option could be Jahmai Jones. I don't know if Jones will be in there. But I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards Skubal and Detroit bats overall. So the next game we've got is Tampa Bay at Cincy. Now, we're always looking at this because I'm very, very sad when the runs aren't aplenty like we feel like they should be in Cincy. So with the weather at this ballpark today, it's blowing out. It's hot. It's humid. 33% chance of home runs. It's the third highest chance for home runs on the day. And pitching matchup wise, Pepio versus Abbott, like, I don't mind. Like, Abbott, 8-1 record, 213 runs per 9. Like, those are great numbers. Okay. Cincy, or then Pepio, 6-8 record, 359. Kind of come back down to earth a little bit. In this ballpark, it does scare me to want to take pitching. So I think you could go Andrew Abbott for tournaments. I think it would be pretty good for tournaments. But I'm probably going batting wise, probably a little bit more towards the Reds bats. So if we're looking at Reds bats against Pepio, they've never seen it before except for Connor Joe with 5 at bats. But if we look at, they do hit righties very well. So I would look at Ellie. I would look at Noel V. Marte. Probably a full 5-man stack or more. Trevino would be my third one. Fourth one is probably Spencer Steer. Fifth one, Austin Hayes or TJ Friedel. I do not mind them whatsoever. Tampa Bay bats against Abbott, Diaz, and Kim both have home runs. They don't do very well against lefties, though. Caballero, Montez, and Walls, or maybe Chandler Simpson, you could look at. But I'm probably more going Abbott over Pepio and feel pretty comfortable with that. And then the third game of the early slate that we're going to cover, we've got the Diamondbacks at the Pirates. We've got Merrill Kelly against Andrew Heaney. Now, I will say, we had some trades in the past couple of days. We saw Ryan McMahon go to the Yankees on Friday. On Thursday, we saw Josh Naylor going to Seattle. They're going to be sellers. Eugenio Suarez is there. Merrill Kelly's been a name that's been floated around as well. So, it's probably not likely, but he could get traded before this. So anything can happen, but we are going to dig into this game a little bit. So Merrill Kelly, 61 plate appearances in his career against Pittsburgh, 196 batting average. Those are great numbers. You got Andrew Heaney, 97 plate appearances, 253. They don't hit lefties as well. And you're going to see this. So Arizona against Heaney, you got Ketel Marte with a home run and Randall Grichuk with a home run. Suarez has one too. He's 1 for 11 with 1 home run. But they don't hit very well against lefties. But if you're going to go anyone, probably Lourdes Gurriel Jr. His name has been floated out there to be traded. Geraldo Perdomo, 345 batting average with 2 bombs. I would look at, probably looking at Corbin Carroll. It's still lefty on lefty matchup, but yeah, kind of what I would see. Ketel Marte's another one. He could get traded. I doubt he does, but he could. He could bring back a haul there. Pittsburgh against Merrill Kelly. Tommy Pham has a home run. That is it. Against righties, they do hit well. Cabrian Hayes is a name that's been thrown out there to get traded. I would use him if he's in there. I would probably use IKF as another name that's been traded, chance to get traded. O'Neal Cruz is another one. O'Neal Cruz, actually, his name's been out there as well, which is wild. So I like all the guys that could be traded. That's because they're obviously hitting very well right now, or they have the tools to do it. I'm probably going, I think both pitchers are okay. I think both are tournament only. Merrill Kelly might be cash as well. Merrill Kelly's probably cash and tournament. I think Heaney's probably tournament only. I just don't trust him enough to make me feel comfortable. So now we are going to discuss the main slate. We've got Colorado at Baltimore as the first game, but there is weather concern. We'll see. And obviously by the time this video happens, maybe there's been weather concern, Friday games, and they get pushed back. But as of right now, you got Sensatella versus Trevor Rogers. Sensatella I would not use. I've never seen a starting pitcher be under 5K. Sensatella is 4,500. Trevor Rogers is 7,900. He is actually doing very well this year. Came back. I would use Trevor Rogers because Colorado is so bad. The batters that I would use against Sensatella is basically probably the entire Baltimore offense. I'm looking at Gunnar Henderson. Okay. I would definitely look. I'm not looking at any Colorado. I would look at, and they've really not seen him. Tyler O'Neill is batting, what is that, 6 for 8 or 7 for 8? Batting 750 with a home run. I would use him. I would use Gunnar Henderson. I would use Ryan O'Hearn. He could get traded. I don't know. We'll see. Ramon Laureano is probably another one I'd use. And if you want a fifth one for a full stack, I'm probably looking at Jackson Holiday. But yeah, don't overthink this game. Trevor Rogers, and then I would look at the Orioles as a stack in this one. The next game we're going to look at Atlanta at Texas. We've got going on Grant Holmes versus Kumar Rocker. Rocker, he does come in 9.8. We've used him a couple times. I don't know if we used him this year, but last year he struggled. I mean, you can see he's coming off a great start against Detroit, which makes absolutely no sense to anyone in this world. And then against the Angels, where it is a good matchup because they strike out the second most out of any team, minus 2.4. Then 12, 17, 15. It's up and down with him. When he's pitching at home, he does have a 1.84 ERA compared to a 9.91 on the road. So it makes a little bit of sense. You could use him because he is 6,100, but be cautious. He does have a 5.66 ERA. He's never faced the Braves before either, so sometimes we do give that a boost to the actual pitcher and not the team batting. Then you got Grant Holmes. Like, he's had some good games this year, but against the Yankees, 5.5. Against St. Louis, minus 7. Baltimore, 14.7. 29.3 against the Angels. Splits-wise, we look at this. Home games, 2.93. When he's on the road, 5.19. I think maybe both pitchers for tournaments, but if you had to make me choose, it's probably Kumar Rocker for tournaments, and that is it. And then maybe we look at the bats. Now, we can just see what kind of bats there are. And like Braves bats, obviously I've never faced him before. Against righties, like they do very well. Braves bats against right-handed pitching this year, very, very well. You could look at Acuna batting 343. You could look at Ozzy Albies, who's kind of been heating up a little bit for us. Marcell Ozuna. Eli White would be a cheap option, just depends if he's in there. Then Texas bats against Holmes. Rowdy Tellez is the only one that's seen him, but they do hit righties very well, as you can see on the screen. So we look at that. We look at Corey Seager, I would look at Josh Smith. And if I want a third one, depending, probably looking at Adolis Garcia or a Wyatt Langford there. So it just depends on what we've got. And then we look at, sorry, my sister is texting me. Hold on. Okay. My sister found, or she's taking pictures, my Facebook profile pictures from 2006 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and creating stickers out of them. And she made a group chat about it. Anyway, yeah, let's go on. Probably a full stack here. You could do Duran. No, probably not Duran. Rowdy Tellez, only batting 220 with 12 bombs, but does have a home run against him, so you could definitely look at that if you wanted a full stack there. So the next game we got going on, we've got Chicago at Chicago. We got rain concerns yet again. We got Cade Horton versus Aaron Savale. I don't really know what we're going to get here. Cade Horton, 14 plate appearances. You've got Aaron Savale, 53 plate appearances. Kind of the same thing. If the weather holds off, I'm looking most likely at actually both sides. I don't really want either pitcher. PCA, I would look at Nico Horner. I would look at Michael Busch. I could look at for the Cubs. On the flip side, for the White Sox, Meadroth, you could look at. I mean, it's not. I don't love it, but Luis Robert, now his name has been floated out there to get traded, so that's definitely something. And I always want to look at Mike Tauchman. Now he's facing one of his former teams, so you could always look at Tauchman there, a cheaper option, a left-handed bat in this ballpark against a righty. That would be what I'd go with. But I'm avoiding the pitching. Again, with 11 games on the slate, there are other pitchers that you can choose and we can avoid in that situation. So now we've got Athletics at Houston. We've got Jacob Lopez versus Hunter Brown. Now, Hunter Brown, 65 plate appearances in his career against the Athletics, 317 batting average. So his numbers, he is 10,800. He's very expensive. It has been 3 straight starts of subpar outings from him. Okay. The last start he had came back at Colorado. That was a good start, July 2nd. So it has been it's not been a very good July for who was at the beginning of, or for like the first couple of months, the front runner for the Cy Young. It's come back down to earth a little bit. He's now going up against the Athletics. Now, I understand it's not in Oakland or Sacramento. He did face him once this year already. Went 6 innings, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, had 27.9. If he could get that back here, that would be awesome because he does have a better ERA at home. So I would look at Hunter Brown. And then you got Jacob Lopez. I'm not on him. I would probably look at, most likely, I'm looking at Nick Kurtz. Like if we're going athletic bats, Nick Kurtz, Soderstrom, Brent Rooker would be my 3. Houston bats, I would look at Jose Altuve against Lopez. I would look at Yonder Diaz if he's in there. Chas McCormick could be in there. Christian Walker. Those would be the ones that I'd look at in this game. But if I am taking a pitcher, it is Hunter Brown for sure. Then we've got Washington at Minnesota. You do have Joe Ryan versus Mitchell Parker. Joe Ryan in his career, 38 plate appearances, 229. You got Mitchell Parker, 16 plate appearances, 286. I would look at Joe Ryan here for both cash and tournaments. And then I would look at Mitchell Parker for just tournaments. Now, Minnesota can hit lefties, but Minnesota struggled this year right now. But if I am taking Minnesota bats against Mitchell Parker, Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, they'd be my top 2. Trevor Larnach would be another one you could look at if we're looking at that. But I think Buxton's obviously my number 1. And we always used to love to take Ryan Jeffers, and I kind of want to do that as well. So I think a full stack of Byron Buxton, Ryan Jeffers, Willie Castro, Carlos Correa, and maybe a Trevor Larnach makes sense to me. Now, I do love Joe Ryan today, but if you want to go against the grain, you want to go with Washington bats, probably looking at James Wood, probably looking at CJ Abrams, maybe Ahmed Rosario. We usually like to take him against lefties, but I could see you using him, but I'm not in love with using him today. Then you got Miami at Milwaukee. You got Jansen Junk versus Jose Quintana. Quintana just had a good game against the Dodgers. Well, middle of the game, but I mean, he was 6,500 at the time. 16.5, 6 innings. He did give up 4 earned runs, did have 5 Ks and no walks. So had he given up no earned runs, he's probably looking at 30 fantasy points against the Dodgers. We look at splits for Quintana. When he pitches on the road, he is better. When he's at home, it's a 5.12 ERA. So that does scare me a little bit. Gets to go up against Miami, which is kind of a good matchup for him, but he's only faced 3 plate appearances. Then you got Jansen Junk. Comes in with a 3.25 ERA. Does have negative 1.55 against Kansas City in his last start. He's going minimum of 5 innings, though, in his last 4. So that's great. He's got a 7-inning game in that one against Baltimore. He's got 3 straight, almost 20-plus fantasy point games there. 1 against Minnesota, 1 at Cincy, which is a pitcher's ballpark, and then Baltimore is what we've got. So he's never faced Milwaukee before. Milwaukee's very good this year. They've been doing very well. Jansen Junk on the road, a 3.16 ERA in 6 games, 3 starts. Tournaments, I'm okay with both of these pitchers, but I think we maybe focus on the bats a little bit more. So looking at the bats, if you don't want to go either pitcher, like I said, they haven't seen much. Against lefties this year, Miami, not so good, but Dane Myers, 319 batting average with 2 home runs. You could look at him. You could look at Agustin Ramirez, who had a home run, I believe, taken away on Friday. He's hitting very well, batting 244 with 4 bombs against lefties this year. Another one you could look at, Eric Wagaman, if you want a little bit, or even a Kyle Stowers batting 290 this year, but does not have any home runs against lefties. Milwaukee bats, never seen Junk before, like we talked about. Against righties this year, William Contreras batting 255 with 6 bombs I would look at. Bryce Terang batting 283 with 5. Christian Yelich batting 279 with 17. I mean, a cheaper option or two. Isaac Collins batting 286 with 2 bombs I'm okay with. Maybe an Andrew Vaughn. Only batting 195 will be a cheap option if you want to go a full Milwaukee stack for your main slate here on Saturday. So then the next game we've got going on, got LA at Boston. Now, at the moment, it's Crochet versus Kershaw. But as of the making of this video, which I make after lineups lock the night before, so I can get you guys the first look, there's rain concern. The game hasn't been postponed yet, but I could see it definitely happening. So make sure, if it does happen, you get these pitchers in the right game and you guys don't get screwed over by doing a lineup quickly and then it doesn't happen. But it's Garrett Crochet versus Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw in his career against Boston, 36 plate appearances, 294. He hasn't really gone deep into games here. I don't trust him. I don't want to pay up for him. I could be wrong, but he just hasn't given us the fantasy points we need, and he's not getting the innings that we need either. Crochet, on the other hand, he's averaging 25.3 fantasy points per game. He's been everything that Boston needed when they traded for him. That grip on that picture is wild. That's got to be a palm ball, right? The way, I don't know, maybe it's a curveball. So we look at that. He would be the one I'd look at. But again, the Dodgers can hit. We know that. They've kind of struggled, though. At the moment, through 10,000 sims, I'm only looking at Crochet. I'm not looking at the bats. That could change after we do 20,000 sims. But we do 20,000 sims usually about 2 hours or so before first pitch of the main slate. So we'll put it that way. So the next game, you got Matt Liberatore versus Randy Vasquez. You've got the Padres at the Cardinals. Liberatore, we've used him a couple times this year. We did not use him against Atlanta. He went negative 11.25. He's had a couple of good games, though, here and there. Not consistently, though. We look at him at home. He does have a 4.59 ERA. So I'm not looking forward to that, especially against the Padres. But the Padres actually don't hit lefties as well as they hit righties. So we will definitely look into that and see, and we'll dig into the numbers a little bit. And then if we look at Randy Vasquez, I don't know if we've used him this year at all. When he pitches on the road, he's got a 4.34 ERA. He's only averaging 7.1 fantasy points in the last 10 and only averaging 8.3 overall. I don't like that. Those numbers are terrible. He hasn't hit 15 plus fantasy points since May 14th. Also bad. So I would be focused more on the bats. San Diego bats against Liberatore. Manny Machado has a home run. That is it. Against lefties, they're actually starting to trend up in the right direction. So the ones I would look at, I'm probably looking at Manny Machado. I'm probably looking at Gavin Sheets, who's batting 270 against lefties. I'm probably looking at Xander Bogaerts to be cheaper, and maybe Martin Maldonado if he gets the start. I'm okay with those. If you look at St. Louis bats against Vasquez, no one's had a home run. But against right-handed pitching, I would look at Alec Burleson, who's batting 312 with 10 bombs. Brendan Donovan batting 331 with 7 bombs. His name is getting thrown out there into the trade speculation, so that's definitely something to look at. But I like him. Another one would be Nolan Arenado. His name has been trade bait the entire time. I would look at those guys. There's always Wilson Contreras you could look at, or possibly Mason Wynn as well. Okay, so the next game, we got Cleveland at Kansas City. Do not forget, this is a massive ballpark. It's the biggest ballpark in the major leagues. It's more of a pitcher's ballpark, and we're just kind of looking at the ballpark factors here. So if we're looking at Kauffman Stadium, the wind is blowing directly out to left center. It is very hot and humid, or it's supposed to be very hot and humid. In the upper 90s, probably feels like more than 100. So that usually means the ball flies out of there. So we do have Chris Bubic versus Tanner Bybee. So Bubic coming in. But before we do this, keyword of the day is going to be Gilmore. Happy Gilmore that came out on Friday. But if you look at Bubic, he has not hit the 20 plus fantasy points. So basically what we're looking for on DraftKings, you're looking for between 25 to 30 fantasy points. On FanDuel, you're looking between normally 40 to 50 by itself, since it's a single pitcher. And he has not hit it in a while, but we can break it down a little bit further. Splits-wise, he has faced Cleveland once this year. In that game, 6 innings, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned 5 Ks. Did have 14.1, which is not enough for his price. That's the problem. If we look at that game, it came down to, where was it? April 11th, he went 6 innings there. That was in Cleveland. And if you look at his splits, when he pitches at home, he is a little bit worse at 302. For his price, I think I'm out on him just due to his price, at least here on DraftKings, because he is 10,000, meaning we need 25, 30 fantasy points out of him. And he really hasn't hit that. Almost, but he has not. Then Bybee comes in, kind of the same thing. He's only 7,600. So you do get a little bit more value out of him. Splits-wise, he's faced Kansas City twice this year, 10 innings, 0 earned runs with 6 Ks, which is great. If you look at this against Kansas City, first game of the year, 18.35, which is fantastic. He has come down in price since then. And then his second start of the year was April 11th, 14.3. Got worse, and his price came down. So you look at his splits. When he's on the road this year, 524. So he's just been worse on the road. In his career against Kansas City, kind of looking at this, 115 plate appearances, which is a great sample size, 184 batting average, 21.7 K percentage. I don't mind him. I could see you using him a little bit just because it's a little bit cheaper and the value's a little bit there, a little bit more there than maybe what we would have expected. So you can kind of see that in a different direction. But if you're not going to go either pitcher and you want to look at batters, that's exactly why we use Outlier, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So looking on this side, Kansas City bats against Bybee. If you don't want to go with Bybee, Pasquantino does have 2 home runs, batting .636 and 11 plate appearances. Bobby Witt Jr. batting .318 or .313 with a home run. So they've seen him, but again, the ball flies out of here, or doesn't fly out of here in this ballpark as much. So definitely be cautious. And then you kind of see against righties this year. It just depends on who you're going to go with. But if you are going to go against Bybee and you want to take some bats, I would probably look at Pasquantino, probably look at Bobby Witt Jr., Sal Perez, maybe Kyle Isbell. Just depends if he gets in there. And I don't know why, but Jack Caglione, if he is in there, I had, what was it? A couple of weeks ago, I said I had a feeling he was going to hit a home run, and he did. I got that feeling. Don't put a bunch of money on it, but I got that feeling. We will see what happens. Cleveland bats against Bubic. No one's done anything against left-handed pitching. They do hit pretty decent. If I'm looking at anyone here against lefties, J-Ram, we love to take J-Ram this year against lefties, batting .339 with 4 bombs. Carlos Santana is okay, batting .238 with 4 home runs as well. But you want to save a little bit of money. Angel Martinez down there, .323 batting average with 4 home runs. I'm okay with those guys. Depends on the lineup that comes out. Stephen Kwan's always there. We usually like to take him against righties instead of lefties, but he is definitely a cheaper bat than if you want to pay up at other positions, like for Shohei Ohtani for an outfielder, or just depending on the outfielders you guys go with. Next game, we got the Mets at the Giants. So it is a massive ballpark. It is a pitcher's ballpark. It's David Peterson versus Robbie Ray. Peterson, 49 plate appearances, .308 batting average in his career. Robbie Ray, 63 plate appearances, .250 batting average, struck out 33.3% of those batters. Robbie Ray, we did take him against Toronto his last start. This is where I'll tell you, we got humbled, and I was wrong. Minus 2.5, not ideal. Went 4.1 innings, 5 earned runs, 5 walks, which is wild. Those numbers are crazy. You look at splits-wise, he has not faced the Mets this year. He has success in them. At home, he does have a better ERA, 2.53. His last start came in on the road, which is worse. Okay? So him at home, we love to see him at home. He is expensive, but he has come down in price. He was $10,500. He was above 11,000 for a handful of starts. Did not hit value here, hit value 2 starts, and that's basically it. Hit the value a little bit here. Obviously, against the Mets, we would love to see 25 fantasy points out of him, especially at 9,400. Still comes in with a respectable 2.92 ERA. Then you got David Peterson. Up and down this year. Started off really good start against Miami to start the year. Kind of went downhill a little bit. Didn't do much. Had a good stretch right in here, end of May to the middle of June for about a month. A good stretch there. Kind of been up and down the rest of the time. We look at splits. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 4.36 ERA. But this is a better pitcher's ballpark than Citi Field, so you could use that there. I think either pitcher's good for tournaments. I'm not trusting either of them for cash, though. There's no way I'm trusting them for cash. If we look at just the pitchers or the batters against them, against Robbie Ray, Lindor has a home run, Marte has a home run, Brandon Nimmo has a home run. Against lefties this year, not the best. Brandon Nimmo batting .265, Starlin Marte batting .284, Jeff McNeil batting .308 you could look at. There's obviously always Pete Alonso, who's only batting .210 against lefties this year, or Lindor batting .227. That kind of tells me maybe Robbie Ray has a good game. And then we look at the Giants bats against Peterson. Wilmer Flores does a home run. That is it. Lefties, not so good against lefties, but Jung Ho Lee batting .268 with 3 bombs you could always look at. Rafi Devers batting .270 with 6 bombs you could look at. Matt Chapman, I just have a feeling he goes yard in this game. Matt Chapman .267 with only 1 home run, but this feels like he adds to that and makes it at least 2 home runs against lefty pitching this year. In the final game, we've got the Mariners at the Angels. the Angels strike out the second most out of any team this year, and the Mariners strike out the fourth most out of any team. So George Kirby versus Tyler Anderson. Kirby, $9,000 salary. Anderson, very cheap at $6,500. Neither are averaging over 15 fantasy points, so don't enjoy that. But they do have good matchups here against teams that strike out. Kirby in his career against the Angels, 103 plate appearances, 232 batting average, striking out 27.2% of those batters, only walking 3.9. Anderson on the flip side, 127 plate appearances, a 237 batting average, 25.2 K percentage. So let's look at Kirby real quick. Been a couple of down starts, one against Milwaukee, which is a really good team, one against Detroit, very good team. Great start against Pittsburgh, which we took him against, 6.1 innings, 9 Ks. He is capable of double-digit Ks. He had 14 strikeouts against the Angels the last time he faced them, which we love to see, 42.55. Okay? 7 innings in that game, 14 strikeouts. Now, I don't want you to chase that because that's not going to happen every time. But we look at his splits. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 5.4 ERA, but he has had success against them in the past. And that did come back on June 8th, so it's been a while. So I do like that matchup for him. George Kirby at 9,000, I'm okay with. And the Angels do strike out over 9.5 times a game, which we love to see. Then we got Tyler Anderson against the Mariners. He really hasn't hit. His last 3 starts have been bad. Got a 4.43 ERA. He has faced Seattle twice this year. 10.2 innings, 6 runs, 5 earned, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks. So not ideal. Against Seattle this year, if we look at his numbers, 15.9 at 8,200. He is now 6,500, so he has come down quite a bit. And then before or after that, he pitched against them at LA at home, 10.5. So the one on the road, he did better. Splits wise, home 3.12, away 5.52 ERA. So for whatever reason, he does better at home, but against this team, he did worse. Tournaments, maybe you just do sports betting just to get some of the strikeouts. I could see that as well. I don't love it, but I could see it as well. So we do look at this. Seattle bats against, and they did just add Josh Naylor. Doesn't hit lefties as well, though. Have they updated on here yet? They have not updated on here yet, but it will be updated. Seattle bats against Tyler Anderson. You got Cal Raleigh with a home run, but is only batting 154. You got Randy Arozarena batting 364 against him. You got J-Rod batting 429 with 1 home run against him. But against left-handed pitching, if you are looking, Cal Raleigh this year, batting 324, hits lefties better than righties, 16 bombs. It just feels like one of those Cal Raleigh multi-homer days. I have a feeling. I'm going to write that down because I want to put a little bet on it. Cal Raleigh 2+ home run day. Now, I could be wrong, but it's got that feeling. Feel it in my plums. So Cal Raleigh's my number 1 on this team. Number 2 is Randy Arozarena. Number 3 is J-Rod. You want to go a couple more for a full stack just because you feeling a little froggy? Maybe we go Mitch Garver. We liked it. We used to like to take him against lefties. I don't know if we've used Mitch Garver once this year. That's the thing. The other one I'd probably look at, Jorge Polanco, batting 273 with 1 home run against lefties this year. Angels bats against Kirby. D'Arnaud has a home run. Mike Trout has a home run, and Taylor Ward has 2 home runs against righties this year. You can see there is a ton of green on your screen, which means they hit righties better. So yeah, Zach Neto leading off, batting 295 with double-digit home runs I would look at. Taylor Ward, 18 bombs, doesn't hit righties as well, but has hit George Kirby well. I would look at him. Mike Trout batting 242 with 16 bombs. I would look at him. If you want a couple more for a full stack, maybe we look at Joe Adell with 16 bombs, batting 235. Maybe we even look a little bit at Logan O'Hoppe if he gets in there. I don't know. We do like to take him against lefties better, but this year against righties, 228, 14 bombs. I don't mind that at all. But Logan O'Hoppe does strike out 33.5% of the time, which is worse than he does against left-handed pitching. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of the early slate and the main slate for you on this Saturday. If you want to see more, you want to see some BVPs and some of our favorite stacks, the article right here, it's linked down below. It's got what you need right now. So now we are going to do our matchup tool. These are all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulation. We might have broken our record. So what I do is I run the 10,000 sims. I load it in here. I don't look at it until we talk about it right now. The record is 38. We might have beaten it. There's a lot on this list. So buckle up and get ready. Let's rock and roll. Number 1 is Corbin Carroll. Number 2 is Ketel Marte. 3 is Byron Buxton. 4 is Gunnar Henderson. 5 is Kyle Tucker. 6 is Michael Busch. 7 is Cal Raleigh. 8, Jordan Westberg. 9, Ramon Laureano. 10, Jackson Holiday. 11, Ryan O'Hearn. You can see it loves Baltimore as a stack. 12, Manny Machado. 13, Eugenio Suarez. 14, Kyle Schwarber. 15, Carlos Correa. 16, Ryan Jeffers. 17, Colton Cowser. 18, Miguel Vargas. 19, Alex Bregman. 20, Randall Grichuk. 21, Jackson Merrill. 22, Tyler O'Neill. 23, Tyler Freeman. 24, Royce Lewis. 25, Andrew Benintendi. 26, Chase Meadroth. 27, Josh Naylor. 28, JP Crawford. 30, Juan Soto. 31, Geraldo Perdomo. 32, Rafi Devers. 33, Luis Arraez. 34, Xander Bogaerts. 35, Alec Burleson. 36, Gavin Sheets. 37, Nolan Arenado. We were one short. We had 37 10 out of 10s in this one. It's been a couple of months since we beat that or had 38. I wanted to beat it today. My apologies, guys. That's through 10,000 sims, though. So after 20,000, maybe it does update. So we're going to do pitches be crazy now. These are the pitchers that are going against the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most. So number 1 is Trevor Rogers versus Colorado. Colorado strikes out 9.71 times per game, 10.3 on the road. Number 2 is George Kirby at the Angels. Angels strike out 9.65 times per game, 9.5 at home. Number 3 is Clayton Kershaw at Boston. I don't trust this one. Boston strikes out 9.12 times per game, 7.98 at home. So they strike out less at home, though. Overall, they strike out third most. Number 4 is Tyler Anderson versus Seattle. Seattle strikes out 8.89 times per game, 8.86 on the road. And number 5 is Kevin Gausman at Detroit. Detroit strikes out 8.76 times per game. They strike out 8.45 at home. So the one I really don't trust is Clayton Kershaw. Gausman's up there too, but I like him better than Kershaw. So now we're going to do our Make and Bacon segment. We are looking at all of the batters we think could get you 2+ bases, maybe 1 hit plus runs plus RBIs, or maybe even just want to go with RBIs. You might even want to simplify it and just do a hits bet. So pitchers you think, or batters you think could get 1+ hit here. So we're going to give you the ones for the bases. There's quite a bit today. These are some of our favorite ones through 10,000 sim. Byron Buxton's number 1. Number 2 is Gunnar Henderson. 3 is Manny Machado. 4 is Corbin Carroll. 5 is Carlos Correa. 6 is Tyler Freeman. 7 is Alex Bregman if the game gets played. 8 is Jackson Holiday. 9 is Randall Grichuk. 10 is Vinny Pasquantino. 11, Eugenio Suarez. 12, Jackson Merrill. 13, and final one, or 13 is Jose Ramirez. And 14, Ryan O'Hearn. 15, Salvador Perez. Now, do not obviously parlay all of those together. You don't want a 15-leg parlay, but it is there for you if you guys enjoy it. That's what we've got for bases, hits, RBIs, whichever one you want to take. Now we're going to look at pitchers for strikeout. Some of your books are going to have some of these. Some might have the alt line, some might not. But these are the ones that I would look at. Joe Ryan versus Washington. If you can find a line for 6+ or 7+ strikeouts, I'm okay with that. Skubal against Toronto, 6+ strikeouts. You want to get a little crazy and go 10+ strikeouts. I don't know if your book has that. Would love to know if you guys take that. What are the odds on the book that has 10+ strikeouts for Skubal? The third one I would look at is Robbie Ray versus the Mets, 5+ strikeouts or 6. Trevor Rogers against Colorado, 5+ or 6+ strikeouts. George Kirby versus the Angels, 6+ strikeouts, but I am okay if you go up to 8+ or maybe even 9+ if you can find that line. And then final one, I would look at Kumar Rocker against the Braves, 4+ strikeouts or 5+ strikeouts. If you can find that line. At the moment, 5+ strikeouts is +102 that I'm seeing in my book. So there you have it. That is your Saturday slate complete. If you, depending on when you watch this video, maybe you will have time to do some UFC fight night. So we do have UFC for Saturdays. It is a 12 Eastern start, so it is an early morning start, or it's a morning start technically. Where's it at? Abu Dhabi. That's kind of what I figured. So it's an early start, so it depends on when you watch this video. Usually early morning Saturdays, we usually get everything done, but we might have it done earlier than that. It just depends. So that's what we've got. Have a fantastic Saturday, whether or not you're sports betting, whether or not you're playing DFS, whether or not you're doing MLB, WNBA, PGA, anything like that. Have a fantastic Saturday. Good luck. Good luck to all of you playing there or trying to win our giveaway in this video. Do not forget, 200 likes plus 75 comments. 3 people will win a $500 lifetime pass. That is a $1,500 value spread among 3 of you. Good luck today. And as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.